to be quite honest, I sometimes look at videos on YouTube about priests who talk in the tongue of God. I just love that. I just eat it up. Simply because I have my experience with spirituality, and this is just how to reach out for other people. The most famous god in worshipped god in this entire world is of course the Abrahamic God. So if it's in fact immediately that you will have a lot of people when you say that you can speak in the tongue of the Abrahamic God. So of course, so just to become popular and most of the time to have this power and money over, that you actually abuse the God that you are talking about. And sometimes they really, really believe that they are talking with the tongue of God. But in fact, I have to admit that sometimes when I talk to the dragon, sometimes I have to admit um, let's just say how, and that is a question actually that I didn't want to say, but I have to say this. How do you imagine yourself to be as the dragon? That is actually a very important question, and I didn't even realize that for until of course recently. Actually, this was because of a ritual that I did, and the dragon actually showed me how I am underneath the skin, underneath the human skin. And that was no longer a human hand that I could see, but a draconic claw. And I immediately said, no, 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 don't. I'm just a follower. I'm nothing more. But why are you a follower? Why are you seeing us as divine and godly? Why? Because of what I saw. And that is actually very important, to see yourself as as one of them, and that you are much more than just what it appears, that it's much more than just your face that is looking like the rest of humanity. And of course it's you, and it's not like these pastors in the USA that are saying I'm talking in the words of God. Well, actually, I'm quite honest. I'm actually talking for myself, but as a child of God, but not God itself. But because my gods are not popular at all, not at all. They are so much demonized. Whenever I talk about my gods, about the gods of the dragon, they immediately have their opinion about it. And whenever I try to say I'm talking in the tongue of Leviathan, oh my goodness, demon worshipper. No, 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 no. So it's not to become popular or anything like it. The dragon in general is very demonized. So whenever I'm talking about the dragon, you have to be really on the dragon's path um, to know that this is not demonic or anything like it. It's just what you can feel for yourself, and unlike anyone else. This is what you feel for the dragon, this is what you feel for yourself. And so sometimes it happens, and especially in the beginning, that I had these conversations with the dragon that was very, very private, that I will never actually say here to anyone actually. The conversations that we have, me and my dragon, is very personal. Sometimes I can say it, but most of the time it's not, because it's only meant for you. So what these people are actually doing, that they are immediately talking to the gods, and they are commanding angels or things like that, this is all just, or it's just abuse of power, or it's just nonsense, because your entire spirituality you should do alone. It's not meant for anyone else. What every individual spirit here on this earth is, it's a journey. It's something that you have to tell when when your days here are done. You and your spirit by your side, that could be seen as an angel, should direct you back to your home where you belong. And that is the entire point of it, not to gain popularity or not to gain money from it. It's to tell other people. You can, of course, and that is what I'm trying to do, tell other people this exists. Now it's up to you. It's up to you, what will you do? So I'm not here to say that, oh, I'm going to speak in the tongue of Leviathan now. And then say something really, I mean, what I've seen on YouTube is just making spirituality look bad. Really, of course, spirituality and religions in general never looked good at all. But in fact, that is just the entire point of it. Don't involve anyone else in your spirituality. Don't become a priest. Don't become. Of course, you can become a preacher. You can. I'm a dragon preacher, but simply because I just want to tell you my experiences on the dragon's path. Because all of these years, I've been alone. All of these years, I couldn't tell anyone about the dragon. And those I told about, they laughed in my face or they just said it's simply untrue. Even if I would tell all of these people that so-called call in talk in the voice of God, of the Abrahamic God, they immediately will say it's ridiculous or it's demonic or things like this. But in fact, this this entire spirituality thing, this is so personal. Everything about it is personal. Everything that your spirits by your side are saying is personal. Your God, how you view your gods, is very personal, and that is why I think it's something that we shouldn't do, to come together. Whenever people come together inside of a church, I say no, don't do it. Just they are just afraid whenever their life will end. So what will happen? Of course, everyone is afraid of death. So they will go to a guy saying, I know it, I know everything. Well, actually, no. I have so much experience on the Dragon's Path, so much. But it doesn't stop there. And what I know is just that tiny thing about this entire universes everywhere. That is what the dragon showed. But in fact, it was only meant for me. What your dragon will show you, it's only meant for you. This entire world is just decoration. Humanity, everywhere where their spirit belongs, is just somewhere else, far away from the dragon's gate, far away that you will never see them again when your time here is up. So yeah, like I said, sometimes I amuse myself, and then they say God said that to me, and then conveniently it's actually the same thing that they want, and then the entire crowd is manipulated, and that is just making spirituality look so bad. So yeah, and that is why I come to this forest, to be alone, to be by my side. Actually, in this forest where I am now, I talk to my dragon out loud all the time. Actually, no one is hearing it, no one is judging it. I just talk to you for just a brief moment. But in fact, here in this forest, I can be with my dragon just. And this is what you should do on spiritual path, not to join, not to be in front of an entire building. I'm here in this forest. Here in the forest, this is a creation of my gods. This entire forest is nature. It's what I could feel. I could talk with it. I could be one with it. It's because the dragons are nature. So this, of course, it speaks by itself that a forest is my church. The forest is the place to be. But a building, oh my goodness, a building, why? Ah, yes, of course, for money and wealth. That is the entire point of religions. But a spirituality is something that you need to feel, that you can feel for yourself and with your dragons. And sometimes when I see people like this talking in tongues and talking as God, I could ask for Tiamat, for example, to come inside and let me be guided, and so that I can record this and say to you, I'm speaking in the tongue of Tiamat, but I will not do something like this. Thus, this might do so much harm to your path, or that, for example, that you are actually guided by another dragon god, for example, Fafnir, that Fafnir says, no, don't do that. That I have different plans for you. While Tiamat is saying something completely different in my tongue. So I will not do this because the dragon gods doesn't always agree with each other. So that is why conflicts exist in an entire world where everything is made perfect by one perfect God. Everything should be perfect, but it's not. It's always a conflict. How come? Because the gods are not agreeing with each other all the time. It's water and fire all the time. It's always conflict. That is why nature can be very cruel sometimes. But yeah, that is not something that I will do. What I will do sometimes is to speak as myself, but myself as a human and a dragon spirit at the same time. Sometimes, when I talk to you, I sometimes do that. I sometimes try to do that. Let the dragon be awakened and then talk about it. So because my humanity is doesn't have that much to say, but my draconic energy, the dragon in itself, has a lot to say, and that is what I like about it. I love to talk about the dragon. After silence for so many years, I finally have a way to talk about the dragon here in this forest where I can be myself. And that is how you should do it yourself. This has to be comfortable. The entire point of the dragon's path is to feel comfortable by the dragon's side. The entire idea of it, and not to gain money or wealth or anything like it. The only thing to gain on the dragon's path is comfort, love, and connection with the dragon.